Welcome to the Selling Trust Podcast with Nathan Mark. Did you know you're 10 times more likely to close a deal with an existing client than a new prospect? Today, we're diving into the Mark method to help you transform transactions into lifelong partnerships and build a referral flywheel that works for you 24/7.
As a sales leader, you live with a constant low-grade fear that your top client is going to leave, that your best rep is going to quit, that the relationship that you thought was rock solid is actually just hanging on by a thread. I know that feeling intimately, but I didn't learn it in a boardroom or from a sales manual. I learned it as a little kid, shuttling between two different houses after my parents got divorced. What I discovered in those split households became the foundation of a $40 million sales career, and the system that's helped all of my sales professionals build unbreakable client relationships. Today, I'm sharing the personal story behind the Mark method and how a childhood lesson about staying connected became the key to client retention that most sales teams never learn. This isn't just a touching story. It's the origin of a proven system. The relationship principles I learned as a kid in a split household have generated over 40 million in sales and counting. It's helped my team achieve 94% client retention rates, and it's transformed how hundreds of sales professionals think about client relationships. One sales leader told me, "Your split household story changed everything for our team. We went from losing 30% of clients annually to losing less than 6%. And that's the power of understanding where real relationship skills come from. Here's how I'm going to connect my personal story to your professional success. Picture this. You're 7 years old, and every other weekend you pack a little suitcase and you move to a completely different world. A different house, a different set of rules, different routines. But here's what nobody tells you about split households. It's not just about living in two places. It's about learning to maintain relationships when you're not physically present. I remember the panic that I felt every Sunday night, knowing that I wouldn't be able to see my friends from my dad's neighborhood for 2 weeks. Would they remember me? Would they still want to play with me when I came back? Would someone else take my spot in the friend group? That fear taught me something most adults never learn. Relationships don't survive on autopilot. They require intentional, consistent effort to maintain connection across distance and time. I became a master of what I now call presence without proximity. I learned to make every interaction count. I remembered details about my friends' lives. I followed up on things that they told me. I found ways to stay relevant in their world even when I wasn't physically there. Does this sound familiar? It's exactly the challenge that your sales team faces with their clients. Living in a split household forced me to develop 4 critical skills that most people never learn. Skill 1, intentional check-in. I couldn't just assume that my relationships would be there when I got back. I had to actively maintain them. I'd call friends from my other house. I'd write letters, because this was before texting. I'd make plans for when I return. Most sales reps, they do the opposite. They assume satisfied clients will stay satisfied without ongoing attention. They check in randomly, if at all. They treat relationships like they're on autopilot. Skill 2, a memory for details. When you only see people intermittently, you better remember what matters to them. I kept mental notes about my friends' interests, their problems, their friends outside of our group, their pets, their mom and dad, their victories. And when I came back, I could pick up conversations where they had been left off. Your clients are the exact same way. They want to feel remembered, not just recognized. They want you to care about their business challenges, their personal goals, their wins, their losses, their struggles. Skill 3, a value-driven presence. I learned that just showing up wasn't enough. I had to bring something valuable to every interaction. Maybe it was a new game idea with my friends, or helping someone with their homework, or just showing up and being a good listener. I had to earn my place in the group every single time I returned. And skill 4, consistency across contexts. The biggest lesson? I had to be the same person in both of my houses. If I was one way at my mom's and different at my dad's, people could not trust who I really was. Authenticity became my survival strategy. Your sales team needs the same consistency. Clients need to know that they're getting the same person, whether they're closing a deal or they're handing off a problem or if they're just checking. Years later, when I was building my sales career, I realized that I was unconsciously applying these childhood survival skills to my client relationships. That's when I formalized them inside of the Mark method. Your sales team is struggling with client retention because they never learn the split household skills. They're present when they're closing a deal, but they disappear once the contracts are signed. They treat relationships like they're automatic instead of intentional. Here's how you're going to fix it. You're going to implement systematic presence. Create regular touch points that aren't about selling, monthly check-ins, quarterly business reviews, annual strategic sessions. Make staying connected as systematic as your sales process. You're going to teach value-driven interactions. Every client interaction should add value, not just extract it. Industry insights, strategic introductions, problem-solving support. Your team should bring something valuable every time they show up. You're going to focus on building authentic consistency. Your reps need to be the same person in every client interaction. The same level of care, the same quality of attention, the same commitment to the client's success. If this story resonates with you and you want to give your team a system for building the kind of presence that creates lifelong clients, then let's have a conversation. Your team's struggle with client retention is not a skill issue. It's a system issue. They're stuck in the transactional treadmill because it's the only way that they've been taught to operate. I'm offering a complimentary team strategy call where we'll diagnose the out of sight, out of mind problem in your sales process and outline how the Mark method can build a bridge of consistent presence within your team. The link to apply is in the description below. Let's turn your sales team into relationship masters who know how to stay connected, stay relevant, and stay indispensable to their clients no matter what is going on. Because you don't have to accept churn as a cost of doing business. You can build a team that knows how to stick. It starts by teaching them that relationships do not survive on autopilot. They require intentional presence. I learned this as a kid, shuttling between two houses, trying to stay connected to the people who mattered most in my life. Now, you can teach them to do the same.
Thank you for tuning in to the Selling Trust podcast with Nathan Mark. If you found value in today's episode, please share it with a colleague or visit nathanmark.com to download your free copy of the Revenue Event Cookbook. Keep building trust and transforming relationships. We'll catch you in the next episode. See ya.